Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do One Piece Chapter 695 review. Now, of course, before I get started, I do want to say that I was surprised that the chapters came out today as opposed to next week, but I'm not complaining. Why is that? Very simple. Because the chapters are here, and I'm going to review them. Now, that being said, once again, One Piece Chapter 695 review. Yeah. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of General Franky. But goddamn. Goddamn. Do I gotta respect this motherfucker's power? Shit. I mean, like, this, like, yo, like, he blasted out like a fair chunk of that mountain in like one. Yeah, I was like, yeah. With that general cannon, Franky. But what I will say is that the highlight of this week's chapter, Usopp and fucking Nami. And by their quote-unquote, they are very powerful, quote-unquote, when fighting against guys who lost the will to fight and are running away. I mean, hey, they are the weak trio for a reason, alright? I mean, if they're fighting people that are pussier than they are, then shit, they're gonna have a ball. But damn, like, what surprised me the most was Usopp, I guess. Yeah, Usopp. Because Nami's like, she actually controlled the path of the lightning, which was damn good. But Usopp was actually able to fling back and throw this chopping grass, or no, chopping plant. I believe that's what it's called, the chopping plant. But the thing about it is that this chopping thing was eating like so much material. The chopping grass, the black Kabuto's chopping grass. It was able to eat like all these like rocks and boulders and steel, and Usopp was able to actually, fling his arm back and release it. I'm like, yo, Usopp, maybe you're not that fucking weak, man. Maybe he's not that physically weak at all. It was like he just like, yeah. I'm like, damn. But that was good though. That was good. So let me get on to the actual full-blown review from part 1 and so on and so forth. So first of all, part 1, the cover page. All right, it appears that Karibo is giving someone a meat pie, and I believe that someone may be Kaido, because he's on Kaido's island, and Kaido's favorite island. So he's probably giving Kaido a meat pie, and we may see Karibo later on in the actual story be part of the Kaido pirates, which would be kind of weird, because actually I don't know, maybe, or maybe Kaido might just kick him off the island. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? But regardless, Kaido he may meet Kaido at some point. That's number 1. Again, number 2 of this chapter was the conclusion of the fight between Buffalo, Baby 5 versus Franky and Franky Shogun. And at some point, they do get like a pretty good hit on the Franky Shogun. Like, in fact, Baby 5 and Buffalo were able to use their spinning Sigil Girl combination and actually pierce through the armor hand of Franky Shogun. Now, I believe Franky Shogun is made out of a stronger metal than the Wapple metal that the pacifists are made out of. I believe so. So that's a pretty impressive feat right there, to actually penetrate through the entire arm of Franky Shogun. But Franky Shogun, I mean, he had none of this shit. And when he did the General Cannon, which apparently is a mobile version of the Gahol cannon that the Sunny uses. So basically, like, this cannon uses cola. Just how all this shit use cola. And by the way, this General Cannon was very reminiscent of the Kudo Burst that Franky could do in before the time skip. And he blew out like a fair chunk of that mountain. I'm like, yo, Franky, man, maybe you're not that bad in the Franky Shogun. Me personally, again, you guys should know this by now. But I was a really big fan of the dirty Franky. Like the Franky of old, he was mad dirty, he was mad gruffish, like he had scum on his face and shit, like fuck it. But the thing here is that maybe it's not that bad. I don't know, like I just I need to get used to it. I guess so. Because the Franky Shogun right now, shit. Yo man, that General Cannon is alright, bro, whatever, right? So basically, General Franky beats Baby 5 and Buffalo via General Cannon. It appeared that way. But in fact, they actually took the hit. And they were still conscious. And then Franky, when he turns around and he sees Caesar Clown on the ground. And then Baby 5 and Buffalo, they get up again. And they're like, we're not going down until we get Caesar. And then Franky's like, so you want Caesar. Then what happens is that in that instant, we see Luffy and the guys. They come out. So that was all part 2. Part 3 is then when we see we see that the Straw Hats and the G5 and the other guys, they finally have gone out of the actual passageway. And again, a very, very, very large passageway, considering the fact that Luffy knocked Caesar Clown the entire runway with the Grizzly Magnum. So again, very impressive. And what ends up happening here is that they all get out. The first thing they see, General Franky. And all the kids, every dude, if you had a dick, you were like, yeah! Like Franky's theme music's playing. Dun, 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 and if you were a dude, you had a fucking stiffy. You were like, oh, Franky. And all the girls are like, yo, are we pulling this shit right now? Like, for real? Like, for real? Seriously? So all the girls are mad fight. All the dudes, like they were dudes that were, like, mad thirsty. Like, they were drooling shit. It was like, damn. Like, these dudes love Franky. Like, shit. Like, Franky's their fucking hero. Like, so that was funny as fuck. That was really funny as fuck. And then after that, so that was that was part 3. Part 4 is basically Usopp, I guess Franky gave Caesar Clown to Baby 5 and Buffalo, not knowing what exactly was going on, and then they fly away. And then Law's like, nah, fuck this. I'm about to make a big ass room right now and stop you fuckers. But Luffy's like, yo, Usopp said he had it. And we see Usopp and Nami. And now they're about to actually shut down Baby 5 and Buffalo from their retreat. And what they do here, and this is part 5, it's actually what they do, is Nami does some shit. Nami, she does this thing called a weather egg. Well, first of all, Usopp, he has that that black Kabuto chopping grass. He starts to swing around his thing, and then this chopping grass starts to devour all this material in the actual swing path. At the same time, Nami makes this thing called a thunder egg, or weather egg, and then she says a lightning chant, and all of a sudden, very quickly, this thing opens up, and then in a few seconds, if not an instant, bam, just a thundercloud's already there, faster than the much usual thunderclouds. And then the thundercloud, it does what it does, and it actually fires thunder, crackdown, little lightning. It fires a ball of lightning at Baby 5 Buffalo. They dodge the lightning, but then Nami controls the lightning, and then she's able to actually hook it around. And then Baby 5 and Buffalo and Caesar Clown, they all get shocked by lightning. At the same time, Usopp, he slings back his chopping grass and then does some material meteorite storm or something of that nature, but I forgot what it was exactly. But basically, after the lightning attack, Baby 5, she's out cold. And then what happens is that Usopp, he slings back this giant chopping thing, which again has all this material inside of it, which is actually pretty damn impressive, because Usopp, physically, he can't be that weak in order for him to actually take this giant chopping grass with all this material and debris inside of it, and then sling it back and then release it. So what's happening is that he does a thing called the meteor shower strike, and then Buffalo, he gets hit with like a rain of all these fucking meteors, like a rain of all these this debris, and then he gets knocked out. Caesar Clown's in air, but he's gassed, and then and then all the stuff phases through him, and then he's about to fly away. But apparently, within all that debris, there were Kaido-sucking handcuffs, and then they wrap around Caesar Clown, and then now we have Baby 5, Buffalo, and Caesar Clown all done for users, and now they have fallen down into the actual ocean. And then the last panel, I mean, right there, you would assume that it's over. But then the last panel we see, after Usopp does his fucking pose and shit on some Soge King shit, and then we get a last panel of some dude just chilling on the ocean. There's some dude chilling. I overslept. Where's Punk Hazard? And there's where the chapter ends. So this person could be whoever. It could be whoever. It could be who the fuck ever. It could be a fucking Shichibukai. It could be whatever. I have no idea. But there's where the chapter ends. So the chapter rating overall is gonna get a good, and the reason why is very simple. All right, number one. Again, we saw the DC of General Franky, which was pretty surprising. That's number one. Number two, we saw more skills being done by Nami and Usopp, which was a necessity. Usopp was actually pretty damn impressive. And again, the fact that he could physically take this giant chopping grass and sling it back with one arm, it shows that his muscles aren't just for show. They're not just for show. That's number two. Number three, this was actually very interesting because during the process wherein which Law and the rest of the guys, they actually exit the actual tunnel. And then we have Baby 5 and Buffalo. And then they're talking to Law about how Law betrayed Joker. And Buffalo said something. He said, "You backstabber, for the sake of Joker, reserved the seat of hearts." Like, reserve the seat. You see, that's something about One Piece that I'm starting to notice now. There's a lot of card metaphors in this actual show right now. Like, we have, like, Don Flamingo is known as Joker. There's some guy called Jack. Ace is, Ace. Portugal's the Ace. And then we have the Heart Pirates. I think is there someone called Spades? Like, I forget. I don't know, Diamond? I'm a Diamond Joe's, yeah. But, like, I'm starting to notice that there's a lot of, like, card metaphors being chucked around here and there. And then, again, like, reserved the seat of hearts. So, I don't know. And then Buffalo talks about the Don Quixote family. And that's that's also probably very important because it's not just Don Flamingo. It's a whole fucking family of these people. So, I'm pretty sure that they're more relevant later on in the actual arc, or in fact, in future arcs to come. Because right now, all it seems that's going to happen right now is that we're going to see Law and the others, Zoro and Sanji retrieve the bodies of Caesar Clown, Baby 5, and Buffalo. Then they're going to leave. They're going to go and circle back. I believe that they should circle back to the other side of the island where the magma side is, and then they're going to leave, pretty much. And then they need to do something. They need to do something with Kinemon, and then that's pretty much it. So I don't really see them meeting up with Don Flamingo at some point. They may leave Baby 5 and Buffalo in the actual Winter Island somewhere, and then Flamingo may come in there and just see them tied up to a tree or something, or like an icicle somewhere. I don't know, probably. But the way it is now is that, I don't really see them meeting up with Flamingo. And Flamingo, he may pull some shit off, I don't know. But the person who is chilling in the water, looking for Punk Hazard, he may be involved with the Shichibukai, he may be a Marine, I don't know. It could be, there's a shit ton of possibilities. But we'll see next week, or we'll see in the chapters to come. So the rating overall, once again, is going to be good. And I'm signing out. Be sure to, of course, rate, comment, and, of course, subscribe. And I'm signing out. Peace. Have a nice day.